All right, let's jump into this deep dive exploring The Unemployed Millionaire by Matt Morris. We're going to be uncovering his unique approach to reaching financial independence. Hopefully by the end, you'll walk away with, some actionable steps, whether you're thinking about entrepreneurship or just wanting more freedom in your life.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that Matt doesn't just give us some theory. He actually shares his own pretty compelling story.
Oh, yeah. His story is anything but a smooth ride. Okay, picture this. Divorced parents at 4 years old, witnessing your dad commit a horrific act when you're five, and then losing him to suicide at 13. That's a lot for anyone to deal with, let alone at such a young age.
It definitely makes you understand why he's so focused on financial stability, growing up in poverty, often needing food stamps. That definitely shaped his determination to break free from that cycle.
Right. So we've got this young Matt, super driven to escape poverty. He tries the whole entrepreneur thing early on, even drops out of college to chase his dreams. But then things go south fast. By 21, he's $30,000 in debt, homeless, living in his car. He even had to resort to bathing in, get this, gas station restrooms. That had to be rough.
Oh, absolutely. And, these early failures, they're really important. They actually show us something we all go through. Success is rarely a straight line. It's about, like, how do we handle those setbacks and what we learn from them? There's actually this pivotal moment. Matt's feeling totally lost, sleeping in a church parking lot, and he finds Tony Robbins' audio tapes. This encounter, it totally changed his mindset.
Wow, it's crazy how something seemingly random can have such a huge impact on where we end up. So tell me, what's this whole unemployed millionaire philosophy? It sounds intriguing.
Well, the core idea is to build businesses that make money without you needing to constantly work on them. Now, Matt's not saying be lazy. It's more about working on your business, not just in it.
So how does he live that out in his own life?
He talks about achieving this freedom, like time freedom, that lets him be there for the big moments. For example, he took a ton of time off when his daughter was born, and his business was fine.
And the book really contrasts this with those traditional jobs, right? You're basically trading your time for money. And even with self-employment, it can feel like you're just trapped in a different way.
Exactly. He even uses these tables to really show the difference between those lifestyles. It
Yeah.
really makes you think about what freedom means to you and how your career fits in.
All right, let's get into some of the specific strategies he talks about. What really stood out to you?
One is modeling. Matt argues that a shortcut to success is to find those who are already killing it in your field and copy their strategies. He uses Steven Spielberg as an example.
Spielberg. What does a Hollywood director have to do with being an unemployed millionaire?
Well, think about it. Spielberg gets to make movies, right? That's what he loves. His income isn't tied to one place, and his films make money long after he's done with them. That fits perfectly with the unemployed millionaire philosophy, right? Sustainable income that doesn't need constant work.
Ah, I see the connection. So it's about finding people who are already living the success you want and learning from how they did it. Do you think that's something anyone can do no matter what they do?
Absolutely. It's about finding people who have walked the path you want to walk and figuring out what you can learn from their journey.
Okay, and speaking of paths, another big strategy he talks about is the power of beliefs. He suggests that our beliefs, especially those negative ones, can come from our past experiences and all that negative self-talk.
He actually points out that the word belief literally has the word lie right in it. It's like a reminder, right? Not everything we believe is true. And that negative self-talk, that can really mess us up.
He talks about how his own early experiences kind of made him believe that money was always scarce, no matter how hard he worked.
It's a classic example of how our past can really shape our present if we let it. The key is to consciously recognize and challenge those limiting beliefs and swap them out for ones that support our goals.
He also talks about the importance of goal setting, and not just in some vague way. He really believes in writing your goals down, making them real.
Yeah, and it's not just about the what, it's about the why behind each goal. Like, what's the deep motivation that's driving you? He gives some great examples in the book, things like, I'm achieving this because I don't want to miss my kids growing up, or I'm doing this because I have to be a mentor and role model to my kids. These whys, they give you that extra push when things get tough.
It's interesting how such a small shift from what to why can make such a big difference in motivation.
Totally. Then there's action management, where Matt gets super practical. He even tells this funny story about always blaming lack of time, but then realizing it was actually his own weakness.
Oh, I feel that. We've all been there, overwhelmed by that to-do list. So what's his solution?
He has a system called ABC prioritization. You basically categorize tasks based on urgency and importance, then schedule specific times for each.
Are there any other tips he gives for managing time well? I'm always looking for ways to streamline my work.
He sure does.
Hmm.
He suggests setting time limits for tasks so you don't overestimate, batching similar tasks together, and even like minimizing distractions. He really emphasizes doing your A tasks first, the ones that really move the needle on your goals.
Okay, now for a topic that always gets me curious, leadership. What's Matt's take?
He comes at it from an interesting angle. He says that the secret to leadership isn't really skills, experience, or even charisma. It's confidence. And what's even cooler is how he emphasizes the role of perception in leadership.
So it's not just about feeling confident, but projecting it too.
Exactly. People follow those who seem confident, even if that confidence is, well, more of an act at first. He gives some super practical tips on how to project confidence. Things like a strong handshake, looking people in the eye, good posture, even dressing for the part.
It's like understanding how those small cues can really affect how others see us. Does he give any examples of how this plays out in real life?
He does. He tells this story about how he used to fake being a confident leader, even when he felt anything but. And guess what? It actually worked. It's a reminder that sometimes we got to act the part before we fully feel it.
That's powerful. Kind of like fake it till you make it, right? What are some of those leadership laws he talks about?
Well, the first one is dream bigger. Leaders, he argues, have this vision that inspires others to dream big too. He paints this picture of the private jet lifestyle, but it's not just about money. It's about being bold enough to imagine a future that gets you and those around you fired up.
So setting those big, audacious goals that inspire action.
Exactly. Another law is find a better carrot. This one challenges the idea that money is the best motivator. He argues that while money's important, real leaders inspire by tapping into something deeper, something that resonates more than just cash.
He uses Bill Gates as an example, right?
He does. Bill Gates didn't just want to build a company. He wanted to change the world with technology. That's a way better carrot than just chasing profits.
It's about aligning your work with a purpose, something bigger than yourself. I like that.
Another law he emphasizes is stay positive. A leader's attitude, he says, is contagious. Negativity, it spreads like wildfire, but positivity, that fuels persistence. And speaking of persistence, that's another one of his leadership laws.
So even when things get tough, a leader's attitude can really make or break the team's spirit. That makes sense. What about this persistence law? What's his take?
He believes that leaders find a way, no matter what, to overcome any obstacle. He even has this powerful statement, successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. Winners, he reminds us, don't quit when things get hard. They make it happen.
He also talks about committing to integrity, right?
Yes. Matt stresses that leaders build trust by being reliable and doing the right thing. It's about knowing that long-term success is built on solid principles.
And there's a personal story he shares about this, right? Something about a WEIT postcard.
There is. He had this postcard that said WEIT, which stood for whatever it takes. Anytime he felt discouraged, he'd look at that card and remember how committed he was to success.
I love that. It's a great visual reminder of the dedication needed to achieve our dreams. So let's talk about the different business models he highlights. One he seems really into is network marketing. What's his take on that?
He sees it as a business model that's easy to get into, especially compared to traditional businesses with all those big startup costs. He also highlights this idea of leverage, where building a team actually multiplies your efforts.
Hold on, leverage. Could you explain that a little more? I've always struggled to fully get that concept.
Okay, imagine leverage, like a seesaw. A little push on your side lifts a much bigger weight on the other side. That's leverage in business. In network marketing, you're not just selling products, you're building a team that also sells, multiplying your reach and how much you can earn. He actually uses a table to demonstrate this exponential growth, showing how consistent effort, even if it's small, can really add up over time.
Great analogy. So it's about creating a system that works for you even when you're not actively working in it.
Exactly. It's about building a network that expands your reach and amplifies your efforts. But he also addresses those concerns people have about network marketing.
Yeah, it's an industry that definitely gets some bad press. What are some of those concerns?
Well, he talks about choosing a company that's reputable, one that has great products and support.
Yeah.
He warns against leaders who are only focused on money and really emphasizes ethical behavior. He even talks about his own experience, finding more fulfillment and less stress in network marketing than in his other businesses.
It's about finding a company and a team that match your values, right? focusing on building those genuine relationships, not just chasing quick cash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, he explores another model, internet marketing. He starts with a really simple example,
Mm-hmm.
selling on eBay.
eBay. Doesn't that seem a little basic? I was hoping for something a little more, sophisticated.
It might seem basic, but it actually shows the core principles of online business. He breaks down the steps in a way that makes it seem doable for anyone, finding things you don't need, listing them on eBay, and watching people bid. He even talks about how selling things you're passionate about is important, that your enthusiasm can actually make a difference.
I see your point. Start simple and build your skills as you go. So beyond eBay, what's he suggest for those who want to go deeper into internet marketing?
He talks about creating your own website. He walks through the steps, like picking a domain name, finding a hosting company, even building the website itself. He compares doing it yourself to using platforms like Shopify, which can be good for those who aren't tech-savvy.
Okay, and what about getting people to visit your website? That's always a challenge.
He gives a quick overview of different strategies like SEO, paid advertising, using platforms like Amazon and Etsy. He really emphasizes creating valuable content because that's what draws people in, builds trust, and ultimately leads to sales. And here's a key point. He's a big believer in building an email list. It's a classic strategy for creating a loyal audience and turning them into repeat customers.
So provide value up front, build relationships, establish trust. Those seem to be recurring themes throughout the book.
Definitely. And speaking of themes, let's move on to real estate investing. One of the biggest advantages he talks about is leverage.
Okay, I'm going to need another one of your awesome analogies here. Leverage is something I really need to understand better.
All right, imagine you're trying to move a huge boulder. You could try pushing it directly, but that's going to take a ton of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But if you use a lever, a simple tool that increases your force, you can move that boulder with way less effort. That's leverage in real estate. You use a relatively small down payment to control a much bigger asset by the property.
So a small investment can potentially lead to a much bigger return.
Exactly. He gives an example in the book. Say you buy a condo for $100,000 and put down a 10% down payment, which is $10,000. If the property value goes up just 10%, your condo is now worth $110,000. But your initial $10,000 investment has doubled, even though property value only increased by 10%. That's the power of leverage.
Wow, that really clarifies it. So it's about using borrowed money to amplify your returns.
Precisely. And he talks about different ways to find those bargain properties, like negotiating with sellers, going to real estate auctions, even buying foreclosures.
He also tells that great story about getting hotel upgrades, right?
He does. He talks about how he consistently gets upgrades, not by showing off a fancy credit card or anything, but just by being kind, building rapport with the hotel staff, and asking nicely. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest strategies work the best.
It's about recognizing that human element in everything we do. So it's not just about numbers, it's about relationships and connecting with people on a personal level.
I love that. What else does he cover in this section on real estate?
He explains two main ways to make money from real estate. Flipping, where you buy low and sell high for a quick profit, and rent to own, where you use lease options to find tenants who might eventually buy the property. Both strategies have their own details, and you need a good understanding of the real estate market.
And what about managing a staff? That's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with as their business grows. What insights does he offer on that? He emphasizes building a business that doesn't take over your entire life. It's about finding that balance between making money and having personal freedom. He introduces this idea of a stress-free management system that keeps his business running smoothly while giving him the flexibility to choose when and how much he works.
So again, it's about creating a system that works even when you're not actively working in it. Seems to be a common theme here. How does he suggest achieving that?
He talks about either hiring employees or outsourcing tasks to other people. This frees up your time to focus on the most important parts of the business, the things that actually bring in the most revenue. He discusses the pros and cons of both approaches, recognizing that each has its own advantages and disadvantages.
What are some specific strategies he recommends for managing a team effectively? Does he have any interesting stories or examples?
He does. He talks about implementing a free Movie Fridays program for his customer service team. If they stay on top of their work during the week, they get a 2-hour lunch break on Friday to watch a movie together, with the company covering the cost. It's a cool example of finding creative ways to motivate employees and boost productivity without spending a ton of money.
That's brilliant. It shows that motivating employees doesn't always have to be about money. Sometimes it's the small things that make a big difference. But let's face it, even with a great team, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day stuff and lose sight of the big picture.
You're right, and he addresses that head on. He warns against falling into the trap of working in the business instead of working on the business. He uses his own experience as an example, talking about how he used to constantly take on tasks that his staff could have handled, which prevented him from focusing on strategic growth.
So what's his solution for avoiding that trap? How do you make sure you're working on the business and not just putting out fires all the time?
He uses a three-part management system designed to improve communication and accountability. The first part is what he calls the Daily Four, a simple email update that each manager sends him every day.
The Daily Four. What's in that?
It's a quick rundown of four key things: what they accomplished that day, what they plan to accomplish the next day, any problems or challenges they encountered, and any questions they have for him.
So it's about having a system of regular communication to keep everyone on the same page and make sure potential problems are addressed quickly.
Exactly. He even says it's important to let go of employees who consistently don't provide these updates, recognizing that not being committed to communication shows a lack of commitment to the company's success.
It's about setting clear expectations and holding everyone accountable from the top down. What about the second part of his management system?
The second part is what he calls the master project list. It's a shared spreadsheet that every manager can access, detailing each project, its deadline, how much is completed, and any relevant notes.
It's about creating transparency and a sense of shared responsibility.
You got it. He specifically mentions using Google Docs for this because it's easy to access and collaborate on. And lastly, the third part of his system involves weekly accountability meetings.
Accountability meetings, what's the purpose of those?
They provide a structured format for each manager to give updates on their projects and get feedback from their peers. It's about creating a culture of open communication and working together to solve problems.
So it's not just about individual accountability, but also about fostering team collaboration and a sense of shared ownership over the company's success. I like that. What about outsourcing? Does he offer any insights on how to effectively delegate tasks to people outside the core team?
Absolutely. He emphasizes that outsourcing isn't just about finding the cheapest labor. It's about strategically delegating tasks that can be done effectively by others so you can focus on the higher level stuff.
So it's about leveraging the expertise of others to make yourself more productive.
Precisely. He recommends clearly outlining what you expect and providing detailed instructions to avoid miscommunication and ensure good quality work. He also stresses building strong relationships with your outsourcing partners, recognizing that mutual respect and understanding are essential for long-term success.
So it's not just about finding someone to do the work, it's about finding the right people and building strong working relationships with them.
That's right. And he even suggests that sometimes temporary outsourcing arrangements can turn into full-time jobs if you find someone who's really talented and reliable.
It's about building a network of talented individuals who can contribute to your success, whether as employees, contractors, or even partners. What are some specific tasks he suggests outsourcing?
He lists a bunch of tasks that are perfect for virtual assistants, like managing your schedule, doing research, organizing emails, making travel arrangements, and even handling customer support.
So a virtual assistant can be like an extension of yourself, taking care of all those tasks you either don't enjoy or simply don't have time for.
Exactly. He acknowledges that working with a virtual assistant can be a bit awkward at first as you figure out how to work together and communicate. But over time, it becomes a seamless extension of your own capabilities.
And he even provides resources for finding virtual assistants,
He
right?
does. He lists several websites and platforms where you can connect with talented virtual assistants from all over the world. But finding the right fit is crucial for making it work.
So it's not just about finding someone who's available, but about finding someone who understands your needs, shares your values, and can work effectively as part of your team, even if they're halfway across the world. That's amazing. What else does he cover in this section?
He delves into the world of marketing, specifically a strategy he calls outsource your marketing through joint venturing.
Outsource your marketing. That sounds interesting. How does that work?
It's about finding other marketers and companies who are already reaching your target audience and partnering with them to promote your products or services in exchange for a commission.
So it's about leveraging existing networks and relationships to amplify your marketing efforts.
Precisely. Instead of building your own sales force from scratch, you're tapping into established audiences and leveraging the credibility of those who already have a following.
That's a smart strategy. But how do you find these joint venture partners and set up these collaborations? Does he offer any specific guidance on that?
He does. He provides a step-by-step guide to setting up a successful joint venture program, starting with choosing the right affiliate software.
Affiliate software? What's that?
It's software that tracks affiliate sales, provides reporting, and handles commission payments automatically. He even recommends two specific solutions: one shopping cart, which is affordable and good for new businesses, and Infusionsoft, which is more robust and comes with a guarantee.
So the software handles all the technical stuff, leaving you free to focus on building relationships with your partners. But once you have the software, how do you equip your partners to effectively promote your offerings? Does he address that?
He does. He stresses giving them compelling tools and resources, warning against just using generic marketing materials. He starts with banners, knowing that many affiliates use them on their websites. He gives tips for designing effective banners. Make them stand out with bright colors and animation, use the word free whenever possible, and always have a clear call to action. He even recommends a resource called Banners Mall for creating professional-looking banners.
So it's about understanding what your affiliates need and giving them resources that will help them be successful.
Exactly. He then talks about email copy, suggesting writing several different versions of a sales letter that affiliates can easily copy and paste, along with different subject lines to choose from. He emphasizes testing different subject lines to see which ones get people to open the emails. He also stresses providing clear instructions on how to add affiliate links to the email copy, making sure affiliates get credit for their sales.
So it's not just about giving them a generic sales pitch, it's about giving them tools and guidance that will help them effectively promote your offerings.
You got it. He also talks about giving them text ads and relevant keywords for pay-per-click advertising. But he also warns against making a common mistake: sending generic, impersonal emails to top marketers.
Yeah, I bet those emails just get lost in the inbox. What does he recommend for approaching potential marketing partners?
He says it's important to understand things from the marketer's point of view, remembering that they're mainly interested in what's in it for them, not for you. He gives an example of a bad email that makes several mistakes. It's too formal, focuses on the business's needs instead of the marketer's, and doesn't offer any compelling reason to collaborate.
So it's about showing that you've done your homework, that you understand their business and their audience, and that you're offering a partnership where both sides benefit.
Exactly. He provides an example of a much better email that's personalized, highlights the potential benefits for the marketer, and has a clear call to action. And he even reveals a clever tactic he used to get the attention of top marketers.
A clever tactic. Tell me more.
He used Google's sponsored links to find websites that were already paying for traffic in his niche. Then he used the Alexa toolbar to see how much traffic those websites were getting, focusing on the ones with high traffic volumes.
So he was targeting websites that were already successful in reaching his target audience?
Exactly. He then used that information to write personalized emails to those website owners, offering to promote their products or services in exchange for them promoting his.
It's a win-win proposition that leverages shared interests and audiences.
You got it. He even suggests calling those website owners and leaving a short, compelling voicemail that repeats the offer and provides contact information.
So be proactive, take the initiative to reach out, and make a convincing case for collaboration. What about keeping those relationships strong once you've built them? Does he offer any insights on that?
He does. He emphasizes going beyond just transactional interactions. He suggests sending handwritten thank you notes, making personal phone calls, and even sending small gifts to show your appreciation and solidify the connection.
It's about recognizing that strong relationships are built on mutual respect, gratitude, and a willingness to go the extra mile.
Exactly. He even shares a story about sending flowers to a marketer who had just become a father, which led to a valuable invitation to a free mastermind group. It's a reminder that small gestures can often have a big impact. Now let's shift gears and talk about competition. Matt gives some unusual strategies for crushing your competition, going beyond just lowering prices or using aggressive marketing tactics.
Crushing the competition sounds a bit intense. I'm intrigued. What are some of these unusual strategies?
His first suggestion: force your competitors to compete against a free product.
A free product? That seems counterintuitive. How can you crush your competition by giving something away for free?
He uses the battle between Apple and Microsoft as a perfect example. Both companies offer operating systems with similar features, but Apple sweetens the deal by including a bunch of free programs called iLife.
So they're using a loss leader to attract customers.
Exactly. One of the most popular programs in this suite is iPhoto, which is a photo management application. Lots of people choose Apple computers just to get this free program, even though Microsoft later released its own free photo management software. It shows how powerful the word free is.
So it's about finding a product or service you can afford to give away for free and then making money through other offerings.
You got it. His second strategy is the power of the bonus. He emphasizes how effective it is to offer extra incentives to sweeten the deal and encourage customers to choose you over the competition.
So it's about finding ways to add value and make your offerings more attractive.
Exactly. He suggests being creative with your bonuses, finding low-cost or even no-cost items that seem valuable to the customer. He loves offering information as a bonus, like MP3 audio files or PDF reports that cost almost nothing to produce but provide valuable insights.
So information can be a powerful bonus, even if it doesn't have a direct monetary value.
Absolutely. He even brings up Dan O'Reilly's book, Predictably Irrational, which explores the psychology of freebies. The book talks about a study where people were more likely to choose a free Lindt truffle over a Hershey's Kiss that cost just 1 penny, even though they said they liked the Hershey's Kiss a little better.
That's fascinating. It shows how the idea of getting something for free can influence our decisions, even if it doesn't make logical sense. So it's about understanding the psychology of your customers and using that to create offers they can't resist. What else does he suggest for using bonuses effectively?
He emphasizes creating a sense of urgency by saying that the bonus is only available for a limited time. This can be a powerful motivator for those who might be on the fence about buying.
It's about tapping into that fear of missing out. Does he offer any other insights on how to beat the competition?
He does. His third strategy is offer higher levels of personalized service. He compares Walmart and Nordstrom, recognizing that while Walmart focuses on low prices, Nordstrom excels at providing amazing customer service.
So it's about differentiating yourself by giving customers a better overall experience.
Exactly. He highlights Nordstrom's awesome return policy. There's no time limit on returns, which builds customer loyalty and encourages people to shop there again.
It's about recognizing that great customer service can make a huge difference, even in a competitive market. What's his fourth strategy?
His fourth strategy is put your money where your mouth is. He knows that people are naturally skeptical, especially when making big purchases. So he encourages businesses to offer strong guarantees that eliminate the perceived risk for the customer, making it easier for them to choose your product over the competition's.
So it's about building trust by backing up your product or service with a solid guarantee.
Exactly. He emphasizes that a good guarantee should be clear, concise, and easy to understand without any confusing loopholes. He also suggests making your guarantee longer than your competitors, recognizing that this can be a big selling point for customers who are comparing different options.
Does he address the fear that some businesses have that a generous guarantee will lead to a ton of returns?
He does. He argues that most customers are honest, and that those who are going to cheat the system will do so regardless of the guarantee. It's about understanding that a strong guarantee shows confidence in your product and can actually increase sales by reducing customer hesitation.
It's about shifting the focus from preventing returns to building trust and exceeding customer expectations. What's his last strategy for beating the competition?
His final strategy is leveraging social proof. He argues that showing testimonials from happy customers can be incredibly persuasive because potential buyers are more likely to believe what other customers say than what the seller claims.
It's about recognizing the power of word-of-mouth marketing.
Exactly. He emphasizes the power of real testimonials, noting that customers aren't being paid to praise your business and that only a small percentage of happy customers will actually take the time to write a testimonial. He also suggests that testimonials from well-respected people in the community, like politicians or celebrities, can really boost your credibility and reputation.
So it's about using the influence of trusted figures to make your marketing more effective. Does he offer any tips for effectively showcasing testimonials?
He does. He suggests using a variety of formats, like written testimonials, video testimonials, and even audio testimonials. He also emphasizes showcasing testimonials that highlight specific benefits or features of your product or service, making them more relevant and compelling for potential buyers.
So it's about choosing testimonials that resonate with your target audience.
Exactly. He also suggests showcasing any media mentions, awards, certifications, or other accolades that demonstrate your credibility and expertise.
So it's about creating that sense of social validation, showing that other people trust and support your offerings. What about building credibility more generally? Does he offer any insights on how to establish yourself as a trustworthy authority?
He does. He gives 5 specific tips for building credibility and trust with potential customers. His first tip is have a professional-looking website.
And that seems obvious, but I bet there are a lot of businesses out there with websites that don't exactly inspire confidence.
You're right. He stresses how important first impressions are, knowing that potential customers will judge your business based on how your website looks. He suggests investing in a professionally designed website that's visually appealing, easy to navigate, and works well on mobile devices. He also emphasizes using high-quality images and videos, recognizing that visuals can be really persuasive.
So it's not just about having a website, it's about having a website that reflects the professionalism and credibility of your business.
Exactly. His second tip is use a privacy policy and a secure shopping cart. He recognizes that people are increasingly concerned about online privacy and security, and that addressing these concerns can really increase trust and sales.
Makes sense. People are more likely to do business with a company they trust to protect their personal information.
He suggests using a reputable shopping cart provider that offers secure checkout and data encryption, like One Shopping Cart or Infusionsoft. He also recommends displaying trust badges from well-known organizations like the Better Business Bureau or McAfee Secure, which can help reassure customers about security and legitimacy.
So it's about being proactive in addressing security concerns and giving potential customers peace of mind. What's his third tip?
His third tip is include your picture. He argues that putting your face on your website can make your business feel more human and create a personal connection with potential customers. He suggests using a professional headshot that shows confidence and approachability. He also notes that including your picture shows transparency and a willingness to stand behind your business. He also notes that including your picture shows transparency and a willingness to stand behind your business.
It's like saying, hey, I'm a real person and I'm proud of what I do. I like that. What's his fourth tip?
His fourth tip is include your signature. He argues that adding a handwritten signature to your website or marketing materials adds a personal touch and shows authenticity.
That's a nice touch. It's like signing a letter or a contract showing you're personally invested.
Exactly. He suggests scanning a handwritten signature and turning it into a .jpg image that you can easily add to your website or email signature.
Simple but effective. What's his final tip for building credibility?
His final tip is include your company's contact details. He emphasizes making it easy for customers to contact you, which can increase trust and make people feel better about doing business with someone they don't know.
It's like saying, we're here, we're real, and we're ready to answer your questions.
Exactly. He suggests including your company name, address, phone number, and email address on your website and marketing materials. He also recommends considering an answering service or a voicemail box if you're concerned about privacy or getting a lot of calls.
So be accessible and transparent. Give customers multiple ways to reach you and get their questions answered. What else does he suggest for establishing credibility and building trust?
He encourages businesses to establish themselves as experts in their field. He suggests writing articles, books, or even appearing on radio or TV to showcase your knowledge and build credibility.
That makes sense. Become a thought leader, share your expertise, and show that you're a trusted source of information. Does he offer any specific guidance on how to do that?
He does. He starts with articles, noting that everyone has unique insights and expertise to share. He encourages businesses to write articles on topics related to their industry and submit them to online article directories, e-zines, and even print publications.
So find platforms where you can reach your target audience and provide valuable information that builds your credibility.
Exactly. He notes that even if you're not a great writer, you can hire a ghostwriter to help you create professional quality articles.
Good point. It's about using the skills of others to enhance your own efforts. What about books? Does he suggest writing a book as a way to build credibility?
He does. He recognizes that writing a book can really boost your credibility and establish you as an authority. He knows it can be a daunting task, but he points out that self-publishing platforms like Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing have made it much easier to get your book out there.
So make your knowledge accessible and share it with the world.
Yeah.
What about appearing on radio or TV? Does he recommend pursuing those opportunities?
He does. He knows that media exposure can really increase your visibility and credibility. He recommends starting with local radio shows or podcasts and gradually working your way up to bigger media outlets as you gain experience and build your reputation.
It's about gradually expanding your reach and influence. building on each opportunity. What about fear? Does he address the fear that many entrepreneurs face when starting or growing a business?
He does. He acknowledges that fear is a natural part of being an entrepreneur, but it shouldn't stop you from chasing your dreams.
Fear can be paralyzing if we let it control us. What's his advice for overcoming fear?
He encourages readers to see fear as a sign that they're stepping outside their comfort zone and challenging themselves to grow. He gives some practical tips for overcoming fear, starting with recognizing that fear is often based on irrational thoughts and beliefs.
So challenge those negative thoughts and replace them with more positive and empowering ones.
Exactly. He suggests challenging those negative thoughts by asking yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And then coming up with a plan to handle those potential risks. He also encourages readers to focus on the positive things that could happen if they take action, reminding them that the potential rewards are often bigger than the perceived risks.
So shift your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right.
He also suggests breaking down big, scary goals into smaller, more manageable steps, which makes the journey seem less overwhelming. And he emphasizes surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage and inspire you, recognizing that negativity can be contagious.
It's about building a support system that helps you achieve your goals.
He also recommends finding mentors or role models who have already achieved the success you want, learning from them, and getting inspiration from their journeys.
Find people who have walked the path you want to walk and learn from their experiences. Does he share any personal stories about his own struggles with fear?
He does. He acknowledges that he's faced tons of challenges and setbacks as an entrepreneur. He emphasizes that each time he faced his fears and pushed through those obstacles, he came out stronger and more resilient.
It's a reminder that the journey is often messy and unpredictable, but that sticking with it and being determined are key to achieving lasting success. What else does he emphasize in this section on fear?
He encourages readers to celebrate their wins, no matter how small, because recognizing those wins can boost motivation and keep you moving forward.
It's about recognizing that the journey is just as important as the destination and enjoying the process. What are some of the key takeaways from his concluding thoughts about the unemployed millionaire philosophy as a whole?
He emphasizes finding work you're passionate about. He argues that passion is what drives us to overcome challenges and achieve great things. He shares his own experience of chasing businesses just for the money, saying that while he had some success, it didn't make him happy or fulfilled.
It's a reminder that money alone isn't enough. It's about aligning your work with your passions for long-term happiness.
He encourages readers to figure out their core values and passions, and then look for business opportunities that fit those values. It's about finding work that feels more like a calling than a job, something you're excited to do every day.
It's about finding your purpose and going after it with everything you've got.
Right.
What else does he emphasize in his concluding thoughts?
He reminds readers that becoming financially free is a marathon, not a sprint. He encourages patience and persistence, knowing that success rarely happens overnight. He emphasizes setting realistic goals and celebrating milestones along the way. He also stresses the importance of continuously learning and growing, recognizing that the business world is always changing, and staying ahead of the curve requires constant education and adaptation.
So it's about enjoying the journey and knowing that success is a process, not a one-time event.
He gives some practical tips for staying informed and expanding your knowledge, like reading books and articles, going to industry conferences, and connecting with other successful entrepreneurs. It's about recognizing that learning never ends, and investing in your own development is crucial for lasting success.
It's about having a growth mindset, knowing there's always more to learn, and seeing every experience, good or bad, as a chance to grow. What are his final words of wisdom?
He gives some parting advice, encouraging readers to take action and start creating the life they want. He reminds them that they have the power to create the future they desire, and the only limits are the ones they set for themselves. He encourages them to embrace the unemployed millionaire philosophy, not just for financial freedom, but as a way of life that prioritizes passion, purpose, and personal fulfillment.
It's about taking control of your life and creating a future that aligns with your values and dreams. Now, before we finish this deep dive, I want to go back to something that really stood out to me. Matt's discussion of the different stages of growth for a network marketing company. He talks about the formulation stage, which is when a company is just starting out. It's tempting to join a brand new company thinking you'll have a better chance because there's less competition. But Matt says that's not always the best idea.
He does. He argues that joining during the formulation stage can be risky because the company is still figuring things out and may not have the resources or support to ensure long-term success. It's a reminder that newer isn't always better. Sometimes it's smarter to wait and see how a company develops before you invest your time and resources.
Then he talks about the concentration stage, where the company really starts to focus on its products, branding, message, and marketing systems. This is where the real work begins, as the company builds a strong foundation for growth.
It's about building a sustainable business, not just chasing quick profits.
Then comes the exciting part, the momentum stage. This is when the company starts to grow really fast, as its products become popular and its network of distributors expands rapidly. This is often seen as the best time to join a network marketing company because it has proven itself and is in a good position for continued success.
It's definitely an exciting time to be part of a company that's growing quickly. But Matt also points out that people can succeed in any stage of a network marketing company's growth as long as they believe in the products and the company's mission.
It's a reminder that passion and belief can be powerful regardless of what's happening around you. Now, let's talk about a common concern that many people have about network marketing: selling. Many people are scared of selling, especially if they've never done it before. Does Matt offer any reassurance for those who feel this way?
He does. He addresses this directly, saying that you don't have to be a master salesperson to succeed in network marketing. It's more about finding a company that gives you strong sales and marketing tools that do the selling for you.
So use the resources the company provides to make selling easier and more effective. What kinds of tools and resources should people look for?
He highlights looking for companies that offer things like presentations, brochures, videos, webinars, or even websites that effectively explain the value of the products and the opportunity. He also emphasizes choosing a company with a strong support system, saying that having access to training, mentors, and a community of like-minded people can be really helpful for success.
So find a company that gives you the support you need to succeed. I want to mention that anecdote about getting hotel upgrades again. He talks about how he consistently gets upgrades, not by flashing a fancy credit card or using his status, but by being kind, building rapport with the hotel staff, and asking nicely.
It's a great reminder that simple things can be super effective. He highlights the importance of making a human connection, knowing that people are more likely to help you if they like and respect you. It's about building relationships, not just treating people like transactions.
He wants readers to use this in all parts of their lives, not just when trying to get a better hotel room. Whether you're negotiating a business deal, asking for a favor, or just trying to get better service, building rapport and being nice can often lead to surprising results.
Totally. It's about remembering we're all human and that kindness and respect can go a long way. What about flipping houses as a real estate strategy? It's become popular lately, but it can be risky if you don't do it right. Does Matt offer any guidance for those thinking about flipping houses? He does. He says the key to successful flipping is finding properties that are way cheaper than they should be, which gives you room to make a profit even after you pay for renovations. He suggests looking for properties that need cosmetic fixes rather than major structural work because cosmetic repairs are usually cheaper and faster.
So find properties that are in good shape but need a little updating. What else does he suggest?
He recommends doing your research and understanding the local real estate market because different areas have different prices and potential for growth. He says to avoid overpaying for properties because even a small mistake can hurt your profits and turn a potentially good deal into a financial disaster.
So do your homework, know the market, and make smart decisions. What else does he suggest to minimize the risks of flipping?
He also emphasizes having a reliable team of contractors and other professionals who can help you fix up the property quickly and without spending too much.
It's about having a team you can trust to do good work and stay on budget.
Yeah.
What about other real estate strategies? Does he talk about any other approaches?
He does. He talks about rent to own as a way to earn money from real estate without having to sell the property right away. This involves finding tenants who are interested in eventually buying the property, setting up a lease agreement where part of their monthly rent goes towards a down payment on the property.
So it's a way for tenants to build equity while renting, and it gives the landlord consistent income and the potential to sell the property later. So how do you find these underpriced properties in the first place?
He gives some tips for finding these bargain properties, knowing that's often the hardest part of real estate investing. He suggests looking for properties that have been on the market for a while because the seller might be more willing to negotiate.
It's about being patient and persistent in your search, knowing that the best deals often take some effort. What else?
He also recommends going to real estate auctions, which can sometimes offer properties at prices lower than the market value.
Options can be a great way to find deals, but they can also be risky if you're not careful.
He also suggests networking with real estate agents and other professionals because they often know about deals that aren't publicly listed and can provide valuable information about the local market. He encourages readers to be persistent and creative in their search, knowing that patience and hard work can often pay off in the end.
It's about building relationships, being resourceful, and looking everywhere for the best deals. Now let's talk about something really important to me. Integrity. Matt stresses doing business the right way.
He does. He argues that integrity is not only morally right, but also good for business. He shares his own experience of working with people who weren't honest and the negative consequences he faced because of that.
It's a reminder that taking shortcuts and being unethical can come back to haunt you.
He emphasizes that integrity builds trust, which is essential for success in any business.
It's about building a reputation for honesty, fairness, and transparency. What does he suggest for maintaining integrity in business?
He encourages readers to always be honest and transparent with customers, suppliers, employees, and partners, recognizing that your reputation is incredibly valuable and even one dishonest act can damage it. He also stresses the importance of keeping your promises, recognizing that reliability builds trust and strengthens relationships.
It's about doing what you say you'll do when you say you'll do it. Be dependable and trustworthy. Now let's talk about one business model he highlights: internet marketing. He starts with a simple example: selling stuff on eBay.
He breaks down the process into simple steps, showing that anyone can make money online with very little investment and technical knowledge.
So it's about starting small, learning as you go, and growing your online business gradually. What does he suggest selling on eBay?
He suggests finding things around your house that you don't need anymore, saying that getting rid of clutter can actually make you money.
Turn clutter into cash.
Yeah.
I like that. What else does he suggest selling?
He also recommends checking out local thrift stores, garage sales, and even online marketplaces for cheap items that you can resell for a profit.
Be resourceful, find those hidden gems, and see the value that others might miss. Any tips for making the most money on eBay?
He gives some tips, like writing good product descriptions, taking high-quality photos, and setting competitive prices. He also says it's important to provide excellent customer service, knowing that positive feedback can really help your sales and reputation.
So present your products well, provide a great customer experience, and build a reputation for being reliable and offering quality. What about more advanced internet marketing strategies? Does he go beyond eBay?
He does. He talks about creating your own website to sell products or services online. He explains the basic steps, like choosing a domain name, finding a hosting provider, and designing the website. He even compares building it yourself to using website builders like Shopify, talking about the pros and cons of each.
So it's about choosing the best approach based on your skills and budget. What about getting people to visit your website? That's a challenge for a lot of online businesses.
He dives into the whole world of driving traffic to your website, knowing that without visitors, your online business won't make sales. He talks about different strategies like SEO, pay-per-click advertising, social media marketing, content marketing, and email marketing. He gives a quick overview of each, highlighting their strengths and weaknesses. He also says it's important to choose strategies that match your business goals and the people you're trying to reach.
So understand the different ways to get traffic and pick the ones that will work best for your ideal customers. What else does he emphasize about internet marketing?
He really emphasizes creating good content that provides value to your audience, because content is king online. Giving people valuable information can attract visitors, build trust, and ultimately drive sales. He also talks about the importance of building an email list, knowing that email marketing can be a very effective way to stay in touch with your audience, promote your offerings, and get people to buy from you again.
So build relationships with your audience, provide value, and become a trusted source of information. What about making money from your website? Does he offer any insights on how to turn website traffic into sales?
He does. He talks about the importance of making money from your website, because just having traffic isn't enough. You need to turn those visitors into paying customers. He talks about different ways to do this, like selling products or services, affiliate marketing, display advertising, and even offering subscriptions or memberships. He stresses choosing monetization strategies that match your business and your target audience. He also encourages trying different things out and testing to see what works best for your specific business.
So find the right way to make money from your website that works for you and your audience. Now let's talk about something he calls the speed of the group. He argues that the speed of a team is determined by the speed of its leader.
It's a good reminder that leaders set the pace, and their actions and attitudes affect everyone else.
So the leader's energy and enthusiasm can either motivate or discourage the team.
He says that leaders who are slow, can't make decisions, or lack motivation will create a team that's sluggish and unproductive. On the other hand, leaders who are energetic, decisive, and driven will inspire their team to do great things.
It's about leading by example, setting a high bar, and motivating others to follow. What specific actions does he suggest for leaders to stay energized and motivated?
He encourages leaders to pay attention to their own pace and energy level because it directly affects their team's performance. He also stresses setting clear expectations and giving the team the support and resources they need to succeed.
So be a supportive leader, provide clarity, direction, and the tools they need to succeed. Now let's talk about something fundamental to success: beliefs. Matt says that our beliefs strongly impact our actions and, ultimately, our results.
He says that limiting beliefs can hold us back, while empowering beliefs can push us towards success. He shares his own experience of struggling with limiting beliefs about money because he grew up poor. He believed that no matter how hard he worked, money would always be scarce.
It's a classic example of how our past can affect us if we let it. What does he suggest for overcoming these limiting beliefs?
He encourages readers to figure out what their limiting beliefs are, challenge them, and replace them with positive beliefs that support their goals and dreams. He gives some tips for changing beliefs, like using affirmations, visualizing success, surrounding yourself with positive people, and even getting professional coaching or therapy. He stresses being consistent and persistent, because changing deep-seated beliefs takes time and effort.
It's about actively shaping our beliefs and realizing that our thoughts create our reality. Now let's talk about something related to beliefs: confidence. Matt argues that confidence is key to being an effective leader.
He does. He says it's not about being arrogant or cocky, but about projecting a sense of self-assurance that makes others want to follow. He gives some tips for showing confidence, even if you don't feel it inside.
So it's about acting as if you're confident.
Exactly. He starts with a handshake, saying it should be firm and confident, conveying strength and authority. He also stresses the importance of making steady eye contact, because looking away can make you seem nervous or unsure of yourself. He suggests practicing your handshake and eye contact with friends or family until it feels natural.
It's about mastering those nonverbal cues that communicate confidence and authority. What else?
He also emphasizes good posture, because standing up straight makes you look confident, while slouching makes you seem weak. He encourages people to practice good posture all the time. He even suggests dressing the part, because what we wear can affect how we see ourselves and how others see us.
So pay attention to how you look and project an image that aligns with your desired level of confidence and success.
Exactly. He encourages readers to dress in a way that makes them feel good and professional, because it can boost their self-esteem and make them look successful. He reminds readers that power is assumed, not granted, meaning we can create the perception of confidence and leadership, even if we don't feel it completely yet.
It's about controlling how you present yourself and projecting the qualities you want to embody. Now, let's talk about dream building. He argues that leaders aren't just managers or organizers, they're dreamers with a clear vision of the future who can inspire others to share that vision.
He encourages readers to develop a clear and exciting dream for their life, because without a clear destination, it's easy to get lost. He suggests writing down your dreams in detail, creating a picture in your mind of what you want to achieve and how you want to live. He also encourages people to share their dreams with others, because it can help solidify them and make them feel more real.
So give your dreams a concrete form, share them, and hold yourself accountable.
Exactly. He stresses being around supportive people who encourage your dreams and believe in you. He also recommends finding mentors who have already achieved what you want, learning from them, and drawing inspiration from their stories.
Build a support system that helps you chase your dreams and achieve your goals.
He reminds readers that building your dreams is an ongoing process. As you reach goals, set new and bigger ones to stay motivated and inspired.
It's about always growing and knowing there's always more to achieve. Now, let's talk about motivation. Matt says that one of the biggest mistakes leaders make is using money as the main motivator.
He says that while money is important, it's not a very strong or lasting motivator. He argues that people who are only motivated by money will leave as soon as they find a better paying job.
So it's about finding a deeper purpose in our work, something that's more important than just money.
Exactly. He encourages leaders to find a better carrot, something that connects to a deeper purpose. He suggests focusing on things like personal growth, making a difference in the world, or leaving a legacy.
Find a purpose that aligns with your values and inspires you to make a positive impact.
He uses Bill Gates as an example. Even though he's one of the richest people in the world, he's driven by a desire to make a positive impact through his charity work. It's a reminder that true fulfillment comes from doing something that helps others.
It's about using your success to make a difference and leave a positive mark on the world. Now let's talk about something crucial for both leadership and life. Attitude. Matt talks about the importance of staying positive, arguing that a leader's attitude is contagious and affects the team's morale and performance.
He knows that challenges and setbacks are unavoidable, but he says it's how we react to them that really matters. He encourages leaders to focus on solutions instead of problems, because a positive attitude can help overcome even the toughest obstacles.
So look for the opportunity in every challenge and focus on finding solutions instead of dwelling on the problem. What else does he suggest for staying positive?
He also says it's important to celebrate even small successes because it can boost morale and create momentum.
It's about taking the time to appreciate our accomplishments and see how far we've come. Now, let's talk about persistence, which is essential for achieving any big goal. Matt says persistence is the ability to overcome obstacles, to keep going even when things are hard.
He says that most successful people have faced tons of challenges and failures, but what makes them different is their determination to reach their goals. He encourages readers to develop a whatever-it-takes mentality, knowing that success often requires sacrifice, hard work, and a willingness to push through tough times.
It's about having grit, determination, and the ability to bounce back from setbacks. What else does he say about persistence?
He also emphasizes having a clear vision for the future, because without a strong reason why, it's easy to lose motivation when things get tough.
It's about connecting our actions to a bigger purpose that inspires us to keep going. Now let's switch gears and talk about managing your time effectively. Matt provides a system for action management that he calls ABC prioritization.
It's a simple but effective way to organize your tasks and make sure you're focusing on the most important things. He suggests dividing your tasks into 3 categories. A, tasks are the most urgent and important. B, tasks are important but not as urgent. And C, tasks are less important and can be done later or by someone else.
So prioritize your tasks based on how urgent and important they are.
Exactly. He says to focus on getting your A tasks done first because they have the biggest impact on your goals. He also suggests setting aside specific times for each category of task, making sure you're spending enough time on the most important things.
So be deliberate with your time, schedule blocks for different types of tasks, and focus on the most important ones first. What else does he suggest for good time management?
He also says it's important to minimize distractions because even small distractions can make you less productive. He suggests having a dedicated workspace, turning off notifications on your phone and computer, and even using noise-canceling headphones to block out distractions.
It's about creating an environment that helps you focus and be productive. What else?
He also encourages doing similar tasks together because switching between different types of activities can make you less focused and efficient.
So group similar tasks together and do them in batches instead of constantly switching between different things. What specific examples does he give for batching tasks?
He suggests setting aside specific times for checking email, making phone calls, or running errands, instead of constantly stopping what you're doing to take care of those things.
It's about setting aside time for those routine tasks, instead of letting them interrupt your more important work. Now let's talk about email, which can be a huge distraction for many people. Matt argues that one of the biggest time wasters is email.
He knows email is essential for communication, but it can easily become a distraction and a way to procrastinate if you don't manage it well. He encourages people to be mindful of their email habits because constantly checking and responding to emails can break your focus and make you less productive.
So be mindful of your email habits, realizing that it can be a helpful tool, but also a big distraction if you're not careful. What are some specific strategies for managing email better?
He suggests setting aside specific times for checking email instead of constantly looking at your inbox.
Set boundaries around your email use. Don't let it constantly interrupt your workflow. Anything else?
He also recommends unsubscribing from newsletters and promotional emails that you don't read anymore, because getting fewer emails can make it easier to stay on top of the important ones. He also suggests using filters and rules to automatically sort your incoming emails, making it easier to prioritize them.
So be selective about the emails you allow into your inbox and use tools and techniques to manage the flow of information. Now let's talk about customer service. Matt argues that great customer service is not just a nice thing to do, it's really important for your business.
He says that in today's competitive world, customers have lots of choices, and giving them a positive experience can set you apart and create loyal customers who keep coming back. He encourages people to think of customer service as an investment, not an expense, because happy customers are more likely to recommend your business and become repeat buyers.
So great customer service is good for customers and good for business.
Exactly. He suggests going above and beyond to exceed customer expectations, because small acts of kindness and generosity can make a big difference and create goodwill. He also says it's important to handle complaints well, because even negative experiences can be turned into positive ones if handled with care.
Turn every interaction with the customer into a chance to build trust and loyalty. Now let's talk about building a strong team, which is essential for any growing business. Matt talks about the importance of this, knowing that as your business grows, you'll need talented and dedicated people to help you achieve your goals.
He emphasizes hiring people who share your values and vision, because a team that's on the same page is more likely to succeed. He suggests looking beyond just skills and experience, recognizing that qualities like integrity, work ethic, and attitude are just as important in the long run.
So find people who are not only skilled, but also fit in with your company culture.
He also says it's important to invest in your team's development by providing training, mentoring, and opportunities for growth. A team that's constantly learning and getting better is very valuable.
It's about creating a culture of learning and growth, helping your team reach their full potential. Now let's talk about marketing, which is essential for any business, big or small. Matt argues that marketing is the lifeblood of any business, and neglecting it can lead to failure.
He emphasizes understanding your target audience, figuring out what they need and want, and tailoring your marketing messages to resonate with them. He also stresses choosing the right marketing channels to reach your audience, because different channels work better for different people and purposes.
So be strategic in your marketing, understand your audience, and choose the right ways to reach them.
Exactly. He gives a brief overview of various marketing channels like online advertising, social media marketing, content marketing, email marketing, public relations, and even traditional advertising methods like print, radio, and TV. He encourages readers to try different channels and track their results to see what works best. He also stresses the importance of being consistent with your marketing efforts, because building a strong brand and getting consistent leads takes ongoing effort.
So have a plan, be consistent, and track your results to make sure your marketing is working. What else does he say about marketing?
He encourages readers to create a marketing plan that outlines their goals, strategies, and tactics, and to check their progress regularly to make sure they're on track. Now, I want to highlight something Matt emphasizes as crucial for standing out in a crowded marketplace: defining your unique selling proposition, or USP. Now, I want to highlight something Matt emphasizes as crucial for standing out in a crowded marketplace: defining your unique selling proposition, or USP.
That makes sense. With so many options out there, customers need a clear reason to choose you. So how do you define your USP?
He says, ask yourself two questions: what makes my business different? And why should customers choose me over someone else? It's about figuring out what makes you stand out and explaining that clearly.
It's like an elevator pitch for your entire business. What are
Wow.
some tips for creating a strong USP?
He says, focus on your strengths, what makes you different, and what value you offer. Then condense that into a clear and compelling USP that potential customers can easily understand.
So it's not just about listing features, it's about communicating the benefits and the unique value you bring.
Exactly. And he says consistency is key. Your USP should be everywhere: your marketing, your interactions with customers, even your company culture.
It's about making your USP a core part of your brand, making sure it's reflected in everything you do.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Now, moving from strategy to action, Matt emphasizes that knowing something without doing anything about it is pointless. You have to take consistent steps towards your goals to succeed.
It's about closing the gap between knowing and doing. What practical advice does he offer for taking action effectively?
He suggests breaking down big goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Even small actions can build momentum and lead to significant progress over time.
It makes the journey less overwhelming by focusing on one step at a time. But procrastination can be a big obstacle. How does he deal with that?
He gives tips for overcoming procrastination, like setting deadlines, breaking down tasks, rewarding yourself for progress, and surrounding yourself with people who keep you accountable.
It's about creating systems and structures that help you take action consistently instead of relying solely on willpower. What else does he emphasize about taking action?
He reminds us that it's never too late to start. He uses the saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. It's a reminder to stop waiting and start moving towards your goals. He also encourages seeing failure as part of learning for it.
Setbacks are opportunities to grow and get better.
It's about having a growth mindset, understanding that mistakes happen and learning from them is essential for progress.
Definitely. And speaking of learning and growth, he highlights the importance of networking. Building strong relationships is crucial for both personal and professional success.
I've always struggled with networking. It feels forced and fake. How does Matt approach it?
He suggests coming at it with an attitude of giving. The more we help others, the more we get back. It's about offering assistance, sharing knowledge, and being genuinely interested in the people we meet.
So it's not about collecting business cards or selling yourself. It's about making real connections. Exactly. He recommends going to industry events, joining professional organizations, and connecting with people you admire. He also stresses the importance of following up, staying in touch, and nurturing those relationships over time.
It's about building a network of supportive and inspiring people who can help you grow and succeed. What's Matt's take on setting goals?
He believes goals give us direction and motivation, helping us stay focused and achieve what we want. He emphasizes setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Vague or unrealistic goals are less likely to be reached.
So set clear, actionable goals that you can track.
Exactly.
Right.
He also stresses writing your goals down. Actually, writing them down can make them feel more real. He also suggests breaking goals down into smaller milestones, celebrating each achievement, and using those successes to stay motivated.
It's like creating a roadmap for success, breaking down the journey into steps, and recognizing your progress. Now let's explore a specific business model Matt highlights. Real estate investing. He sees real estate as a reliable way to build wealth because it can appreciate in value and generate cash flow. What are some key things he emphasizes for those interested in real estate?
He stresses understanding the basics of real estate investing, things like figuring out how much a property is worth, financing options, and analyzing the market. He also recommends working with experienced professionals like real estate agents, mortgage brokers, and property managers to help guide you.
So seek expert advice and build a team of trusted professionals who can support you.
Exactly. He also gives an overview of different real estate investing strategies, buy and hold, flipping, wholesaling, and even investing in commercial properties. The key is choosing strategies that match your goals, how much risk you're comfortable with, and how long you want to invest.
Find the right strategy for your own situation and goals.
He also stresses doing your due diligence before investing. Even seemingly good deals can go bad if you don't check them out carefully.
So do your research, understand the risks, and make informed decisions.
And he says to think of real estate as a long-term strategy. Building wealth through real estate often takes patience, discipline, and the ability to handle ups and downs in the market.
Now let's talk about a common mistake entrepreneurs make: not delegating effectively. As a business grows, you can't do everything yourself.
He emphasizes delegating tasks to others so you can grow your business and free up time to focus on the most important things. He encourages figuring out your strengths and weaknesses and delegating tasks that are outside your area of expertise.
It's about understanding that we can't be good at everything and that using other people's skills can make us much more efficient.
Exactly. And it's about picking the right people to delegate to. People who have the skills, experience, and motivation to succeed. He gives tips for delegating well. Clearly explain the task, set expectations, provide the necessary resources, and follow up regularly to check progress.
It's about setting your team up for success.
He also stresses building a strong network. Relationships with successful entrepreneurs, mentors, investors, and even competitors can provide valuable knowledge, support, and opportunities.
It's about knowing you don't have to do it alone. A strong network can provide incredible guidance and open doors. What advice does he give for building a network?
He suggests going to industry events, joining professional organizations, and reaching out to people you admire. He encourages approaching networking with a giving attitude, offering help and support to others, and trying to build real connections. It's about building relationships that benefit both sides, based on shared interests and a willingness to help each other succeed. What else does he say about networking? He stresses following up, staying in touch, and making those relationships stronger over time. It's about building a network that can support your growth and success long term.
Now, let's switch to something that's often forgotten but super important for lasting success. Taking care of yourself, Matt argues that success isn't just about achieving things externally, it's also about inner peace and happiness. What does he suggest for achieving this balance?
He emphasizes taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
Ah.
Burnout and stress can ruin even the most promising journey. He encourages making self-care a priority, like exercising, eating healthy, meditating, spending time in nature, and doing hobbies you enjoy.
It's about recognizing that you can't give to others if you're depleted. Taking care of yourself allows you to be your best in all areas of life.
He also stresses setting boundaries, learning to say no and spending your time and energy on things that align with your values and goals.
It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports both your personal and professional goals.
Now let's talk about something fundamental to success, developing a strong work ethic. Matt knows there's no replacement for hard work and dedication. Success rarely comes easy.
It's about embracing the grind, understanding that achieving your goals often means putting in the time and effort.
Exactly. He encourages people to be disciplined and consistent because even small actions done consistently can create amazing results over time.
It's about showing up consistently and doing the work, even when it's hard or you don't feel like it.
He also emphasizes having a positive attitude. It's not just about feeling good, it's a real advantage. A positive attitude can help you overcome challenges, find opportunities, and achieve your goals.
It's about choosing to see the good, believing in yourself, and facing challenges with optimism and determination.
He encourages developing an attitude of gratitude, focusing on what's good and appreciating opportunities. He also says to surround yourself with positive and supportive people.
It's about creating an environment that supports your growth and success. What's Matt's perspective on self-awareness?
He believes that understanding your strengths, weaknesses, values, and what motivates you is essential for making good decisions and reaching your full potential.
It's about taking time to reflect, understand yourself better, and make choices that align with who you truly are.
He encourages thinking about past experiences, noticing patterns in your behavior, and asking for feedback from people you trust. He also says to be honest about your limitations, because recognizing your weaknesses can help you develop strategies to overcome them or delegate tasks to others.
It's about using your strengths and addressing your weaknesses to create a path to success that works for you.
He also encourages embracing your individuality. What makes you valuable is your unique combination of strengths, weaknesses, and experiences.
It's about knowing that your uniqueness is a strength, not a weakness. Let's go back to the importance of building a strong support system. What specific advice does Matt give in this area?
He argues that one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is not building a strong support system. He stresses that being an entrepreneur can be lonely and challenging, and having supportive people around you can make a big difference.
It's about knowing you don't have to do it all alone. Having a support system can provide encouragement, guidance, and accountability. Who are some of the key people he suggests having in your support system?
He encourages developing relationships with mentors, coaches, advisors, mastermind groups, and even friends and family who offer emotional support.
It's about finding people who believe in you, challenge you, and support your growth, personally and professionally. What else does he suggest?
He also stresses the importance of giving back, saying that helping others not only benefits them, but also brings purpose and fulfillment to our own lives.
It's about recognizing our interconnectedness and knowing that supporting others makes the world a better place and enriches our own lives.
Now let's talk about learning. Matt argues that continuous learning and growth are essential for staying ahead of the curve, adapting to change, and reaching our full potential.
It's about having a growth mindset, knowing there's always more to learn, and seeing every experience as a chance to grow.
He offers tips for continuous learning, like reading books, going to conferences, taking courses, and talking to people with different viewpoints. He says it's important to apply what we learn because knowledge is only useful if we put it into action.
It's about being a lifelong learner, always seeking new knowledge and using it to create positive change.
Now let's talk about building a strong brand. Matt says that a strong brand can make a business stand out. He emphasizes defining your brand values, personality, and messaging, and being consistent across all platforms.
It's about creating a consistent brand identity that resonates with your target audience and differentiates you from the competition. What specific advice does he offer?
He encourages you to think about what your brand represents, what makes it unique, and how you want your customers to feel. He also stresses building trust with customers, because trust is the foundation of any strong brand.
It's about creating a brand that people connect with emotionally, a brand they trust and feel good about supporting.
He suggests being transparent in your communication, doing what you say you'll do, providing excellent customer service, and just being authentic. He reminds us that building a strong brand takes a time, but the rewards include increased customer loyalty, the ability to charge higher prices, and a more sustainable business.
So it's a long-term investment that can have big payoffs.
Now let's talk about something that can be uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sales. Matt acknowledges that many people are intimidated by selling, but he reframes it as helping someone get something valuable in exchange for something else valuable.
It's about realizing we're all selling something, whether it's an idea, a product, or our time.
He encourages us to change how we think about sales. It's not about being pushy or manipulative. It's about building relationships, understanding needs, and providing solutions.
It's about creating situations where everyone benefits.
He gives practical tips for selling effectively. Listen carefully, ask questions, build rapport, highlight benefits, overcome objections, and close the deal. He says to be authentic because people are more likely to buy from someone they trust.
It's about building trust and giving the customer a positive experience. Now, let's talk about negotiation, a skill that's useful in all areas of life. How does Matt approach it?
He sees negotiation as finding a solution that works for everyone, not about one person winning and the other losing. He suggests approaching negotiations with a collaborative attitude, trying to understand the other person's point of view, and finding creative ways to create value for everyone.
It's about finding common ground.
He gives practical tips for negotiating effectively. Do your research, prepare your arguments, set clear goals, listen carefully.
It's about recognizing that the internet has changed how we do business, and having a strong online presence is a must. What are the key elements?
He emphasizes having a website that looks professional, engaging social media profiles, and valuable content that attracts people and turns them into customers.
It's about having a digital storefront that showcases your brand, connects with your audience, and makes it easy for customers to reach you.
He gives practical tips. Invest in a well-designed website, create engaging content, use social media to connect with your audience, and consider online advertising to reach new customers.
It's about using the tools and platforms out there to reach your target audience online and build relationships with potential customers.
And he stresses tracking your results, analyzing data, and changing your strategy based on what's working. The online world is always changing, so you need to keep experimenting and adapting.
It's about being flexible, staying ahead of the curve, and constantly learning and adjusting your online strategy. Now, let's talk about leadership. What are some of Matt's key insights?
He argues that leadership isn't about your position or title, but about skills and qualities that anyone can develop. He emphasizes leading by example, setting a high standard, and inspiring others.
It's about being the kind of leader you would want to follow.
He gives some tips. Communicate clearly, build trust, empower your team, delegate effectively, give feedback, recognize achievements, and celebrate successes. He stresses being adaptable, recognizing that the best leaders adjust their style to fit their team and the situation.
It's about being flexible, responsive, and putting the needs of your team first.
Now, for something that's often overlooked but really important, taking care of your health and well-being. Matt argues that neglecting this can lead to burnout, illness, and failure.
It's a reminder that our physical, mental, and emotional health is the foundation for everything else. We can't succeed in our businesses or personal lives if we're not taking care of ourselves.
He encourages prioritizing self-care. Incorporate healthy habits into your daily routine. Exercise, eat healthy food, meditate, spend time in nature, and pursue hobbies. He also stresses setting boundaries, learning to say no, and prioritizing your time, because we can't give to others if we're running on empty.
It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports our well-being.
And lastly, he emphasizes the power of mindset. Our beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes have a huge impact on our actions and results. A positive and growth-oriented mindset can help us overcome challenges, attract opportunities, and reach our goals.
It's about choosing to focus on the positive, believing in ourselves, and facing challenges with optimism and a willingness to learn.
He encourages cultivating a mindset of abundance, knowing there's enough success for everyone, and that collaboration is often better than competition. He says to focus on solutions instead of problems, seeing every challenge as an opportunity to learn and grow.
It's about having a solution-oriented approach, believing in your ability to overcome challenges, and knowing there's always a way forward. What are some specific tips for developing this kind of mindset?
He suggests using affirmations, visualizing success, being around positive people, practicing gratitude, and being mindful of your thoughts.
It's about actively shaping your mindset because our thoughts create our reality.
Exactly. Let's take a moment to think about Matt's journey. His story is a great reminder that success isn't always easy. He went through a lot early on, but those tough experiences motivated him to achieve financial stability and create a life of freedom and purpose.
It's a story of resilience, determination, and personal growth. What strategies from the book really resonated with you?
I was really struck by his emphasis on working on your business, not just in it. It's about creating systems that make money even when you're not actively working, giving you more freedom and flexibility. He also highlights the importance of modeling successful people, finding mentors, and building a strong support system.
Those are all important, and they emphasize the value of learning, surrounding yourself with the right people, and building a business that supports the lifestyle you want.
For sure. And remember, Matt's journey wasn't easy. He faced setbacks and failures, but he never gave up on his dream. His story proves that we can all achieve great things if we're willing to put in the effort, learn from our mistakes, and stay focused on our goals.
So what does this all mean for you? What stood out to you? What's one small thing you can do today to move closer to your financial or personal goals?
Matt really emphasizes being honest in business. Have you seen how integrity, or a lack of it, affects success?
That's a great question to think about. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into The Unemployed Millionaire.
It's a book full of practical strategies and inspiring insights that can help you create a life with more freedom, purpose, and financial abundance.
Until next time, keep diving deep.